Obama is rallying supporters of gay rights. He spoke at a fundraiser in New York City last night for political donors who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender. He believes more needs to be done overseas.
There are still Americans out there who are vulnerable and alone and still need our support. So we can't stop. We've got to keep fighting.
The president is promising to sign an executive order ending workplace discrimination by federal contractors based on sexual orientation. That would affect 14 million employees.
I'm here to actually talk to you guys really quickly about this flag. This flag is not that old. This flag is the symbol of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer pride. So maybe all of you could help me read what it says out loud on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Who I am is what fulfills me, and what fulfills the vision I have of the world.
One high school salutatorian banned from discussing his faith in a graduation speech. He fought back this week. Take a listen.
In coming before you today, I presented 3 drafts of my speech. All of them denied on the account of my desire to share my personal thoughts and inspiration to you in my Christian faith.
It wasn't one that your school wanted you to share. You had heard 3 times that you couldn't include faith. What did the school tell you?
That's right. Now, the first and second times I submitted my speech last week, the school told me, as well as their attorneys, that any reference to God or Jesus or prayer of any kind was unconstitutional and they would pull the mic on me. Additionally, the third time I turned my speech in, they denied it and handed it back to me with God or any reference to my faith blacked out in black marker.
I mean, but look, all of those, well, some would call them threats against your freedom of speech and religion.
We're going to make sure we pay attention to this because this type of thing is happening more often than not these days, it seems, and it's a sad reality that this type of hostility has to go on.
Most of the young people that come into the military are there probably because they're trying to figure out who they are. They come in, they're open to talk about anything. They ask all kinds of questions. From an evangelistic standpoint, I've always referred to them as ripe as black bananas. And it's great to be a government-paid missionary.
Missions to Military, a ministry designed to win and train the military for Jesus Christ. It is our privilege to introduce these servicemen and women to the Great Commission of Jesus Christ. Remember, many of these young people will have an opportunity to view world missions firsthand as they travel at government expense.
Most importantly, I think as a Christian, and especially as a Southern Baptist, we put the chaplaincy under the mission board, the North American Mission Board. And that's because we really do look at our job, I look at my job, as the opportunity to be an evangelist, as the opportunity to be a missionary within the military.
Just want to find a group of people who would stand when nobody else would, who would stand when nobody else could. Thank you for standing for our country. Thank you for standing for our freedom. And thank you for standing for Jesus Christ.
Fort Benning is a very busy place. On any given day, you can find over 30,000 soldiers in training in one of 32 different schools. Training takes place 7 days a week and 50 weeks a year. Recent news predicts an additional 10 to 15,000 new soldiers will be added to this ripe harvest field in the next few years. In order to fulfill the obligation of preaching the gospel to every creature at Fort Benning, God has allowed us to diversify this ministry in unique areas.
These are trainees, and so they're in boot camp. They're being made into soldiers. So there's a lot of things that are being changed in their life, and they're reevaluating a lot of things in their life. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about today is how they can have a personal relationship with God. And we pray that not only do they become soldiers here in boot camp, but we pray that they'll come into God's army in the sense of giving their life over to Jesus Christ and serving Him.
You know the secret to being a good cop? You got to get to know the people.
Mm-hmm. Young man, you got a match?
Oh, sure. Here, keep the pack.
Thank you.
Good. Very good. That's the idea, son. You got to build a trust with the people. Then they'll respect you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Give me two of them glazed doors.
Somebody like that, in my business. Somebody